Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Paris. So this is Paris set up as a two-player game. I'm going to play without these shields. The shields are there so that no one else at the table knows how much stuff you have, so they can't respond to that. But as we're on video, I will just go that way. With the two-player game, you'll have 10 keys. With a 3 or 4 player game, there'll be less keys available. Notice you put 2 keys over here. They are for these tokens. So when you take one of those tokens, you can spend money to get an extra key. The middle piece can be removed, but I'll leave it in because it looks really cool having the 3 dimensions on that space, and you can see what's on the outside of it anyway. Let's get straight into it. I hope you've watched the Gamesplained to get a feel for what the rules are. I'm just literally going to have a playthrough so we can see how the game plays. So White will be first player, and he thinks he's going to release one of these. It says the location on the back, which is this location over here. I'm not going to pronounce it because I will probably fail. He then chooses a location to place a key. He is going to place a key over here on Montmartre, simply because he gets 7 money by placing a key just there. So he takes his 7 money in, and we pass over to the other player. The other player doesn't really have a choice. He's got to go to this area, and he's flipped over the number 1. So he'll throw that in there. He can then choose a location to go to. He thinks he's actually going to follow the piece he just put down. He's only going to get 2 money for doing that, but that may be some easy points for him, because that's not going to be a highly contested area, whereas this one likely is. Okay, we go back over to the other player, who's going to go to that, which is this area just here, and he's got the number 2, so you can put that in. And he thinks he will also follow what he just did, so he'll get 6 money for doing that. Notice the beginning of the game is really just about getting keys out onto the board more than anything else. Back over to blue, he thinks he might go another one in this area, and it's number 2. And he's actually going to start by moving to there. That costs him 1 money by doing that. So from 0 to 1 is 1 money. He gets the wood token that's next to it. And that also, because it's number 1, he gets to move around the circle. So what he thinks he might do right off the bat is actually take that 3 money that's at the beginning. He can choose to hang on to this or just turn it in for the money. So he's going to actually just turn that straight in for the money, just so he doesn't have to think about it in the later game. Back over to White. White is going to flick out this Montmartre, which is the number 2. And he thinks there's value in actually moving onto that. So that's going to cost him 2 money to do that, which he's just spent. He gets the stone that's next to it, and once again he gets to move around the circle. He thinks he'll jump to the gold. Now there's no gold token for him to trade that in with, so he'll just hang on to that. He can just use that token if he needs a gold and doesn't have one at a later stage. Back over to blue. Blue kind of likes building up this space down the bottom here. So that's a 3. So he's going to spend the 1 money to move forward 1 more. Takes the stone, and that allows him to move further around. And he thinks he'll just pick up this wood, and he'll probably pick up the stone on his next turn, simply because they're there, he might as well. Back over to White, who will release this one, which is the number 8 in that space. He's not going to go after that yet, but what he will do is put another key in Montmartre, so he'll get 7 money for doing that. Back to blue, he's going to release this one, which is number 5. He thinks there's probably value in jumping in here just in case. That'll give him 7 money, and once there's another building, he'll be able to jump onto that, potentially. White is going to flick out the other Montmartre, which is the number 8. He's going to leave that at the moment. He doesn't want to jump right up to that. So what he might do is just send one of his keys down here. It'll only get him 2 money in, but he'll be able to pick up those spots to move around the circle outside the board on a future turn. Blue thinks he might actually flick this one out, and he's actually going to send a guy over to that same spot, just because there's a lot of buildings there without anyone actually able to use them at the moment. So he'll go over there, so he is able to use them now. Back to white, who doesn't really have a choice. He's got to go for that one, and he thinks there's value in jumping in over here. So he'll get 5 money for doing that. Blue thinks that he'll do that one, which is number 3 in that location. He thinks he might actually jump in over here. So it gets him 6 money. Back to white. He's going to release this one. So that's number 1, and he's absolutely going to move on to that. So it costs him 1 money to do that. He gains that marker, and he gets to move his marker around the circle, and he's just going to go to the next spot and take the 4 money, which he will trade in straight away for 4 money. Back to blue. He thinks there might be some value in doing this one, which is down there, just to release some guys, and he will actually move to the number 1 just there. That costs him 1 money to do that movement, and he will move around 1 further and take that stone. Back to white. White is going to flick out this one, and he will put another key on that space, which gets him another 6 money. Back to blue, and he thinks he'll do that, which pushes that one there, and he thinks he'll actually move forward on that one. So he gets the stone, and he's now allowed to move around. He might actually grab that one. This is going to give him 2 points for every key that he has on the level 1. So what he's going to try now to do is get as many level 1s as he can, and then turn that in and be able to get some points from doing so. Back to white. He'll flick this one out, and he will spend 1 money just to move 1 forward on that location. White is going to here, which allows him to take an extra token when he needs it, of any of the 3 tokens when he needs it. Back over to blue. He thinks he'll release another one down here. Look, he's going to actually go to there, so he'll get the gold, and he will take this token, which gives him 1 point and 3 money, and he'll turn that in straight away and gets the 1 point. It's white's turn. I feel like this game really has 2 halves to it, so we're still in the first part of the game. I'm going to jump forward now to the second part, so bear with me. So we've got to the point where all of the areas in the city are going to be out. So what's happening now is we have the choice of paying to move a guy forward. There's still a couple of keys that need to go out, but there's no more cities that can go onto those locations. So it's blue's turn. Blue has 2 keys left. What he's desperately trying to do is get as many blue keys onto the number 1s as possible. So what he thinks he might do is he'll action there, which will get him the wood. That costs him 1 money to do that movement. It's back over to white. White is desperately trying to get onto as many 2s or 3s as he possibly can, because he has that token, he has that token, he also has that token, so he will eventually want them to get onto 4s as well. There's some fairly high value in those positions. So what he might do, he's got 2 keys left. What he might do is actually release a key to there, so he'll get 5 money by going over there. Back to blue, who's going to spend the 1 money to get onto that number 1. By going on that number 1, that enables him now to move around the board, and he's going to move to there, which costs him 1 money to take the other key. He did get that other one as well, so that's why he's got 3 keys left, while white only has the 1 key left. White thinks there's value in jumping forward over there, so he'll take the gold. He'll spend the 2 money to be able to gain some more stuff, and he's going to jump to that money. That is 6 more money in. White is very much playing the money game at the moment. It looks like both of them have a lot of money, but that money's going to get used up relatively quickly, so just be very aware of that. Okay, blue's turn. Blue's going to put a key in here, which will get him 6 money in, but he's waiting for that white to move. He fears that in order for the white to move, he's going to need to move the blue to give him space for that to happen. But we'll see how that goes. Back to white. White has 1 key left. It feels like the best thing for him to do is to go in here and take the 7 money. Back to blue. Blue is going to move this one over to here. So it's going to cost him 5 money. So a 3 to an 8 is 5. And it will also cost him a wood. So it becomes publicly available, so anyone can purchase that wood now if they wish. He gets that gold token, and he also gets 2 points. Back to white. White is going to do that, which costs him 2 money. He'll spend another 2 money to move his guy, and he thinks he's going to pounce on that one. So once each of these guys have kind of got score for their spot, they're going to move around, enabling him to do more stuff. Back to blue. Blue really desperately needs that 1, so he will spend the 1 money to get onto the number 1. Back to white. White doesn't have any more keys that he can add, so he can only play with what he's currently got. So what he thinks he will do is move this guy through to the 4, which costs him 4 money. He gains that token, and that is it. Back to blue. Blue thinks he's going to have to move off that over here to get white to move forward. So he will do that. That costs him 3 money. He gets the silver marker, and we move forward to white's turn. He was absolutely correct. White will spend the 1 money to move forward 1. And he gets to move his white marker again. And he thinks he's actually going to jump to here, which will gain him points for each landmark that he owns when he plays that card. These are the landmarks. So we'll get onto them in a second. Back to blue. Blue is most definitely going to jump onto that, which costs him 1 money. He gets to move his guy. Blue actually wonders if there is value in grabbing that one. What that's going to allow him to do is put his key on the same location as someone else. So it's just worth kind of keeping that in mind. Blue is also now going to play this card. So it's 2 points per level 1. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 12 points for him straight away. Back to white, who also wants to play that, because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his whites there. So that's 18 points, 3 points each. We can see the value in those cards now, yeah? Just jumping in, when the 4th one was into one of these, I forgot about doing it, that should have released this. I feel like it was white that did it. So white is going to release it. He can put it on any of the locations that he wishes, but he thinks he'll actually put that one there. And when the guy was put onto that, which I believe was blue, that then releases one of these as well, and he can put it anywhere, he'll put that there. What that means is that is the location that he's going to get scored at the end of the game. Let's keep moving. It's blue's turn. Blue thinks there is value in pushing forward in these locations. So what he's going to do is, because there's no other buildings to go on, he's going to need to add to the building. So he's talking about these landmarks, which are on this side at the moment. And what he thinks he might do is go for this one. Now this is going to cost a heck of a lot, but it should put him in line to be able to do everything. So in order to be able to put this one down, he needs 2 gold and a silver, which he has. He also needs to be able to pay to step up to that. He really wants to step this guy up to that, so 14 money, which he also has. So he'll spend the 14 money, spend the tokens to build it. They go in the pile of things that can be purchased. And this now goes up to sit on that location. He can also turn in 1 silver and 1 gold marker. 4 points for the silver, 5 points for the gold. So that's 9 points, which pushes him up to 23. Okay, I think that is all of the nuance of the game. The only thing that can be added here is the number 16, by the way, because that was the number 15. So I will jump to the end of the game now to have a look at the final scoring. Okay, so we've come to the end of the game. Everyone's had their full turns. It's just the final thing. So white is going to use this, which gets him 8 points per building up here that he's on. So 1, 2, 3 of those. So he gets 24 more points. White doesn't have anything left over to be able to do, so he'll just stop there. And finally, we look for points. So if anyone had this token, which they don't, they get 1 point per money. I haven't bothered taking that because none of them have money. Blue only has 1 money. There's not really that much in it. And then we score each of the venues that actually have these on it. So it's here, here, and here are the only ones that are actually getting scored. Those ones are not getting any score. So here, white has 8 plus 14. You may be wondering why there's 2 keys on that location. He grabbed that, which allows you to put a key onto a location that someone else already has. So he's got 22. This guy has 23. So blue wins that 16 points. But white, because he had at least half, he will get 8 points. Then this one, white has 16, 20, 23 points. Blue has 15, 23, 24, 25 points. So blue, once again, is the winner with 20 points, but white, because he's got at least half, gets 10 points. In a 3 or 4 player game, you don't have to worry about the at least half. You just have to have a guide there. So blue's getting 20, white is getting 10. And finally, with this one, blue has 21. White has 12. So white has just squeaked in with the half points. So 18 for blue and 9 for white. And there we have it. Game. It looks like blue has won, but white has actually managed to lap blue entirely. So white has actually won with 201 points compared to blue's 120. And that, my friends, is Paris. I hope this helps you get Paris to the table. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.